Welcome back, guys. My name is still Bomi, your educational consultant in chemistry and mathematics. This afternoon, please do more to subscribe, share our videos, and tell people about this channel. Love you guys as you do so. This afternoon, we're teaching bearing and distance. This topic is so much needful in both the junior classes and the senior classes. And just like my duty is to aid you in learning mathematics, I have to just do this topic. Bearing and distance is needed to be able to predict the next move. You need to learn bearing and distance in order for you to know what your distance will be from this point, what the prediction of something is. Bearing, it's bearing. Bearing talks about the four cardinal points of the earth, which is the north, the east, the west, and the south. It talks about each angles in which you need to fly from here to there, the time taken, the distance you need to walk to achieve that certain angle. And that is what we'll be learning more about this afternoon. Shall we learn? Now, number one question says, the bearing of y from x is 070 degree. What is the bearing of x from y? Like I said earlier, this bearing talks about the four cardinal points. Four cardinal points. So the question is, this is your x. We're getting it? And the question says 70 degrees. So we're talking about something here. So y. This is your y. And the question says, what is the bearing of x from y? That is checking out this. Is what we're asked to do. So this 70, sorry, thought here, coming here, let's say why? Because they are alternate angles. That is not still all. From here is 90 degrees. From here again, 90 degrees. So we have 180 plus 70 is the bearing of x from y. Therefore, the degree of my y is 180 plus 70. And that gives me 250 degrees. This is the most simplest question in bearing. When you talk about if I'm at 70 degrees, which is between northeast, what is the bearing of the other person to me? So it's just a very simple question. That moves us to number 2. The question says, a man starts from point A and walks 4 kilometers on a bearing of 15 degrees to point B. He then walks 6 kilometers on a bearing of 105 degrees C to C. What is the bearing of C from A? The bearing of C from A. And this is just a question. This is number 2. Yeah, you must always draw the first bearing of the first point down so that in case you need to draw out the other one. Now if point A, this is point A, talking about 15 degrees, we should have something here. Am I right? And walks 4 kilometers of 15 degrees to point B. This is a point B. He then walks 6 kilometers on a bearing of 105. 105 should be here. To C. (105) to C. I can decide to just join both, the three together. 6 kilometers. Now, this angle covers 180 degrees. So I should have 180 degrees. So I should have 180 degrees minus 105. This gives me 75 degrees. And this is an alternate angle. So I have 15%. Altogether, this becomes 90 degrees. And the question says, what is the bearing of C from A? So therefore, this is the angle we're looking for. That's the angle. And because this is a 90 degree of P, it means it is a right angle. I mean, I'm talking about something like this. So therefore, I have, this is opposite over adjacent. So I have my tan. Opposite over adjacent describes tan theta. I have 6 over 4. 6 over 4. My tan theta gives me 1.5. Therefore, inverse of my theta will be inverse of tan 1.5. And therefore, my theta should be, using your scientific calculator, you should have 56.31 degrees. 56.31 degrees. Therefore, the angle, the bearing of C from A is 56.31 degrees. That leads us to number 3. Now, before number 3, this angle talks about 56.31 degrees. Therefore, in total, I should have 56.31 plus 15 degrees. And altogether, I should have 71.31 degrees. 71.31 degrees. So that leads us to number 3. Number 3 says a girl moves from a point P on a bearing of 60 degrees to a point Q on a bearing of 120 degrees to a point R. The bearing of P from R is 255 degrees. Calculate correct to 3 significant figures the distance between P and R. Fortunately, it's a wire question, and I'm so glad to solve this very tedious question. And the question talks about 3 points on the same bearing, on different bearings rather. This is a point P from a bearing of 60. I told us when you have to draw your bearings of the first alphabet, you have to make it low. This is our P. This is P. And therefore your 60 should be around here. To point Q. Yeah. So point Q is on a bearing of 120 degrees. Yeah, this is actually, so it was also going to R. The question says of 120 degrees to a point R. So this is my R. Fortunately, I can also join the 3 together, 120 degrees. And therefore, the bearing of R is also 255. So we're talking about somewhere here. Yes. 255. Okay, from P to R, the bearing of P, sorry, this is our Q, this R. The bearing of P from R is 255. So we're talking about somewhere here, which means this one was able to come into this place at 255. So there's still amount of stuffs here. So we still have to complete 270 degrees. We still have 15 here. Yes, 15. So therefore, this one is 40. The distance was 40. This is still x, and this is y. We're not told which distance it is from Q to R or from P to R. Therefore, checking through this is divided into half, so we have 5 altogether. We should have something like 45 here, 45 degrees. So, back to the question. Back to the question now. So we should have, using the sine rule, the sine rule is A over sine A is equal to B over sine B up to infinity. That's the same thing we're doing here. This 40 was facing here. Let's not forget that. There is 30 here to complete 90 degrees. And the question says that we should look out for the distance between P and R. So what we're looking for is X. So where is X facing? To complete this, I have 60 here. And this is also an alternate angle, 120 degrees. So this is facing here, while this is facing here. So I have 40 over sine theta, because there's nothing, over sine 45, to give me x facing 120. Yeah, that's correct. So we should have 40 over 0.71 is equal to x. Sine 120 should give us 0.8660. Using your scientific calculator, let's not forget that. And please, when you're using scientific calculator, make sure that it is in degrees, not rad. Check the topmost part of your calculator. It should be degree, D-E-G, and not R-A-D, rad. Yeah. So, by the time we cross multiply everything and you divide, your x should give you around 48.9 degrees. So I might decide to estimate, approximate everything. Therefore, my x is 49 meters. 49 meters. I hope we got that question. So the next question is, Bello starts a 3-kilometer walk from P on a bearing 0.23 degrees. He then walks 4 kilometers on a bearing of 113 to Q. What is the bearing of Q from P? Still the same bearing question, but most times it can be technical, and that is why I'm trying to select the technical ones so that you don't have problems solving them. So this is my P. Sorry, I need to make it come lower. So this is my P. The bearing here is 23 degrees to Q, 3 kilometers. Then it then walks again 113. When you subtract this 113 from 90 plus 90, 180, you should have 67 degrees here. So to another one, we're not told if it was coming to meet someone else here, but we can decide to also join both. So this 23 comes here, why? Because it is an alternate angle. Everything, when you sum it, you should have 90 degrees. It therefore gives us another right angle. Another right angle. So This is 4 kilometers. So looking at this, comparing this, the size of this line to this and this, we'll notice that X line is the longest, and that defines the hypotenuse of the right angle. It is always the longest line. Therefore, the question says, what is the bearing of Q from P? That is, we're looking for something here. Therefore, since it is a right angle, I can decide to put my theta here, 4 here, 3 here. That's defining my right angle. So, looking for this angle, you can even decide to look out for your hypotenuse using the Pythagoras theorem, and that gives you s squared is equal to 4 squared plus 3 squared. Pythagoras theorem. So x squared will give you 16 plus 9. X squared gives you 25. Your x gives you root of 25. And the root of 25 gives you 5. But that is not where we're going. The question only says find the bearing. Now my angle is facing something. This is my opposite over the adjacent. Yes, but because I have also gotten the hypotenuse to be 5, it is very convenient. I can decide to use cos theta, sin theta, tan theta, depending on whichever one, but I'm assuring you that you're getting the same answer. Now, when we use tan theta is opposite over adjacent. So I should have 4 over 3. So tan theta gives me 1.33. Then inverse of my tan, the inverse of my tan should therefore give me 36.87 degrees. Yes. So I can also decide to use sin theta. Using sin theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse, so I have 4 over 5. My sin theta gives me 0.8. The inverse of my tan should give me still the same answer. Use your scientific calculator to still be the same answer. Now, you can still decide to use your cos theta. Your cos theta is the same thing as adjacent over hypotenuse. Yeah, so I should have, this is my adjacent, 3 over 5. Cos theta gives me 0.6. Inverse of my cos, use your scientific calculator, you have 36.87 degrees. So that talks about that. So that's the end of the class for today. Bearing and distance cancels, very short video. Please do more to subscribe and share this video. Tell someone to tell someone that mathematics and chemistry is now made easier on the Dawn online class. Join us some other time as we decide to trash out and make simple our math